primetime special where John Quinones had heard about a product that was having a massive impact on the inflammation in people's bodies. He heard about a product that was reducing something called oxidative stress, and that oxidative stress has been attached to many of the age-related diseases that we all experience as we get older. And he thought it was his job to either expose that this product was not working or expose that the product was actually something that we had figured out. So he went and did the tests. It turns out that after being on the product, you guys, for only a 30-day period, his oxidative stress levels, which we have represented here by this little red line, his oxidative stress levels went from what would be considered normal for his age all the way down to that blue line, which is what we would consider the oxidative stress levels of a newborn or as a young adult. So he got excited about that. He still uses this product today. They did something called an ABC primetime special because they wanted to tell the world what this product is. Now, that created some exposure that was really beneficial for this company. The fact that this ABC primetime report aired on national TV, it led to a whole bunch of other investigations by the scientific community. People started to ask the question, I wonder what this product will do for the age-related disease that I have. And so they started looking at these different categories. You can see there's a lot of them on there, you guys. You can see that there's a category for the heart. There's a category for skin or kidneys or joints, the lungs. You can see that there's a category on there for the brain and the immune system, the blood vessels. You can see that there's a multi-organ eyes. All these different universities started to say, I wonder what this product would do with the oxidation relationship that we have with these different diseases. So they started to do what we call peer-reviewed studies. So this is a list of all the places that started to do a study. They came up with a result, and without telling anybody who originated the study, they had one of their peers validate the study, which means they did the study again. They tried to copy that study and see what the results were. If the results of the study were the same as the original study, then they called that a peer-reviewed article, and they published it in these medical journals. They published it so that the world would know the benefit of using this product from these different categories. So what you see on this page here is you see a lot of the different places that have done them. Places like Ohio State, Harvard University did a study. The American Heart Association did a study. Amsterdam there's a university in Amsterdam that is just all about anti-aging. They also did a study. You can see the Free Radical Biology and Medicine. The National Institutes of Aging did a study. These are all studies that I would encourage you to take a look at if you care about how you're going to age, and if you have any interest at all in slowing down some of those age-related diseases that we're all destined to get. If you have an interest in doing that, or if you know somebody who is getting to a point where that's going to be a problem for them, go look at these studies. Type in whatever the problem is that the person that you know, or if it's you, type the problem in to a Google Scholar or type it into pubmed.gov and see if there is a relationship between oxidative stress and that disease that you're experiencing. Because Protandim has over 30 of these peer reviews, and they're continuing. They continue every single year. We tend to get 3 or 4 every year. They're continuing to look at the impact that Protandim is having on all these different age-related diseases. So, you guys, we were excited about this thing 14 years ago. We took this company from $3 million a year in annual sales to over $200 million a year in annual sales. And we started to kind of make our mark. We were able to make our footprint, if you will. We started to have enough exposure that people were excited about what was going on. But it led to a situation where we had an opportunity to bring in some outside advisors and take a look at what this company is doing. And it turns out that if you have a product that will help your body behave and act like it did when you were young, which is the goal. I mean, we all have that same goal. It turns out that if you have a product that will help your body do that, what you need to do is then give it the ingredients to maximize that recovery. Give your body the ability to maximize all of the benefits of Protandim. And so they said, what's going on out there? What can we add to this? Is there something else that we can put into this product line that will match up with the activation message that we're really proud of, that's category creating, and help really, I guess, just make this whole thing a whole lot better? So they looked at collagen, you guys. I'm sure many of you have heard of collagen. There's a lot of different types out there. Now, I will tell you, when I first heard about collagen, I thought we were going from science and validation to vanity. I was completely wrong. I was just as wrong about that as I was about this MLM industry when I first started hearing about it. As I started to gain an understanding of what was going on with collagen, I started to get really, really excited about the addition of this product, because we didn't just add a standard little, powdered form of collagen. we went out and said, how can we make this collagen the best? What can we do? It turns out that I started to read some articles. This article right here was given to me by Michelle. It was actually found by her husband, Danny. I read this article. I'm going to read you the first paragraph of this because I think it's a really great introduction to what collagen is and why we were pursuing collagen. It says, of the 20,000 different proteins in the human body, there's one that dominates more than any other. And without it, our cells would simply collapse in on themselves. Our skeleton and blood vessels would disintegrate, and we would be little more than blobs of shapeless tissue. I decided I didn't want to be a blob, and so I wanted to know a little bit more about this collagen. You guys, collagen is projected to do over $18 billion by the year 2030, and it's doing $9 billion a year right now. We looked at this information and realized that if collagen is the #1 protein that your body needs, and it is part of every one of your cells, it's one of the building blocks of your body, we need to go out and make a collagen that has the best absorption rates possible. So we started looking into liquid collagen. We started to try to understand how we could provide you with the very best one. Here's an example of some of the things that collagen will do for you. It has something to do with nail health, preventing premature hair loss, muscle recovery, joints health. I mean, you see a lot of overlap here with what Protandim does. So you can imagine the combination of the two, the impact that's going to have on your health. We wanted to go out and we wanted to provide a collagen that was not just going to add to your collagen. We wanted to go out and provide a collagen that was going to do 3 different things. The first thing we wanted to do is create a collagen that would activate the natural production of collagen that your body already knows how to make. We wanted to activate that. We also wanted to replenish it as fast as we can and then give your body the best ability to maintain it so that the deterioration of that collagen is slowed down. So how do we do that? Well, what we do is we use something called ruby red extract. It's a quinoa. We use this extract because what this does is it encourages your body's production of collagen. Turns out it does a couple other things, as you can see on the slide right here. It also activates the superoxide dismutase gene and the catalase gene, which is it's an overlap again of what Protandim is doing. But when you add this little extract to our collagen, it tells your body, produce what you already know. Produce the collagen that you already know how to use. Make the collagen that you made when you were young. So we did that. This next slide is going to give you a little study. It's got an 8-week study of the density of collagen that happens. This is after only 8 weeks, you guys. I can't wait to show you some of the before and after pictures. But this is a little study that talks about not just taking collagen, but activating the collagen production in your body. It's really, really important. The next thing we said is we're going to replenish it. So we're going to add collagen. We're going to have your body make it, and then we're going to add it. But we're not just going to add 1 or 2 different collagens like what you're going to find in most stores out there. We're going to put 10 different types of collagen into this liquid collagen. So your body will make the collagen. We're going to add the collagen. And then we had another addition with the citrus berry extracts that will help slow down the breakdown of that collagen. So if you can imagine making a bunch of collagen, adding a bunch of collagen, and then keeping that collagen, not letting it break down, that's how you're going to be able to get the best effect. The combination of this with our Protandim, it turns out we're doing a peer review, you guys. It turns out another peer review is getting ready to be published. We're excited about the results of that. It's going to talk about the benefit of using the two together. So it was a very good decision to bring this in. Just as a side note here, our 1-year anniversary is coming up at the end of this month. 1-year anniversary, we have sold over $30 million of our collagen. And you'll understand why here in just a second. You're going to understand why when you see the before and afters. But before I jump into those pictures, let me tell you what's not in the collagen. We don't have any added sugars. There's no artificial sweeteners. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free. So we listened to what people wanted, and we said, you don't want this stuff in there, we're not going to have it in there. We believe that we have made one of the most effective collagens you can possibly take. And it's evidenced by how much absorption you get. When you use a powdered collagen, you're getting 10 to 30% absorption. When you use our liquid collagen, you're getting 90%. Basically, what that means is you're going to have to use anywhere from 3 to 9 times the servings of a powdered collagen for the same benefit that you're going to get from one little bottle of our collagen. So you can imagine how much better that is, how much easier that is. You know, I'm not really interested in making 9 collagen drinks, to be honest. I'd rather just take one little liquid collagen vial that we have. That's a lot easier for my mind to wrap itself around. Okay. All right. So let's jump in and look at some of these pictures, you guys. You can see on here that this is 77 days. You've got 30 days. Look at the impact that it's had on these people's skin. Look at the difference in their tone. Look at the difference in the sun marks. Okay. Look at the legs. Look at the legs. Look at the impact that it had on those legs. Okay. And those eyes. I love this last one right here. I love to point out the attitude adjustment that it had on our good friend Sean Poe there on the right. But anyways, he's one of our most recent guys that's hit the upper top ranks of our company. So I'm really grateful that he put that in there. It had a huge impact on him. 30 days in, look at the impact it had on his appearance. And then you can see here, this is just a collage. We have tons, you guys. There's so many of these pictures. If you want more pictures, we have them. We can show you hair growth. We can show you almost anything that you want to see with this collagen in these before and after pictures. So once you get to this point, you guys, all we're going to ask you to do is decide whether or not you want to take a little bit more information from whoever invited you on this call and become a customer, or take a little bit more information and maybe join us and help us tell this story. We do it really, really fast, you guys. We're having a great time in this company. We saw a 19% increase in the first quarter of this year in volume. We're publicly held, so you can kind of see it all. But if you decide to help us tell the story, there's 7 different ways that we pay if you'll help us tell that story. So one of them is called a customer sales profit. Another one is a personal sales bonus. We have fast track bonuses, mentor bonuses, level commissions, leadership match, and a leadership pool. I'm not going to get into the details of all of that tonight, but I'm going to give you just a really brief overview of how you kind of get started on this thing. The first thing that we have is a customer sales profit, where when you help show or tell this story to someone and they decide to become a customer, if they go on a subscription, you're going to get a 10% commission, and it comes daily. It comes the very next day. So if you do the work today, you'll get paid tomorrow. If they sign up on a retail price, which means they're not signing up for the ongoing month after month after month order, which is what a subscription would be, you'll actually get a 20%. But you have to do that work again and again and again each month if you want to benefit from that 20%. I prefer a subscription model. I want to do the work really well one time, have them sign up and get the product month after month after month, and start building on that, and every month gather more customers who I get paid on as well as the customers before. So we have a 10 or 20%. The next thing we're going to do is at the end of the month, we're going to add all that volume up. We're going to say, how much volume did your customer buy? And the company is going to send you an additional bonus for that, anywhere from 5% all the way up to 20% as you move through these ranks. Obviously, we have a bunch of people in the company at those diamond ranks. The reason that people are excited to get there is because if you signed me up as a customer and your total customer group is between 500 to 1,000, you're making an extra $7. So you'll make that 10% on the subscription plus an extra $7 on my order. But as you build this customer base, when you get above $4,000 in customer volume, that $7 that you were making on me becomes $28 that you make on me. So the company is basically saying, as you become more effective at finding people and introducing this information, the work you did yesterday or last week or last month, we're going to start paying you more and more and more on that work as your group gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We want to encourage you to continue telling the story. So do the work today, get paid $7, go build a little group. I'm going to show you here in a second about how many that takes, but build a little group with $4,000 in volume and start getting paid $28 on the same person. Kind of a neat thing. All right, so how do you do this? Well, if you go get 4 customers, you'll be in that first group and you'd make a total of 15%. If you get 29 customers on this, what we call a healthy glow stack, which is Protandim and collagen, you get just 29 customers. You guys, it's just 2.5 a month, 2.5 customers a month for a year. You end up making 30%, which is $1,200 a month. And if you've done a good job, if you've done your work right, that's about $15,000 to $18,000 a year extra that you're making. And it just keeps coming if you put them on a subscription. I love that model. Okay. All right. Now, after you start building a team, some of these people are going to come to you and they're going to say, hey, I want to make a little extra money too. So if they become a consultant, like a lot of us on this call, they're going to fall somewhere into what we call a level bonus. We have additional bonuses that you get paid depending on what level they're on in your business. If you had me on your front line, you would make an extra 10% off of everything that I do and all of my customer volume. If I'm on your second level, then you would make an extra 7% on me and all of the customers that I bring in. We do this through 9 different levels, you guys. The next bonus that I'm going to briefly touch is called a leadership bonus. This is kind of an advanced bonus. There's a beginner, advanced, or a beginner, intermediate, and advanced bonus. As you move through these different groups, you're going to have the opportunity to start building leadership, which means you're building people to a point where they may not need you anymore. You're building people up to where they have they take control of their business, where they're independent of you. If you're willing to provide the mentorship and provide the consulting and hold their hand and the teaching and get them to the point where they no longer need you, you're going to match another 20% of what their checks are. And it turns into a big thing, you guys. You can have as many of these as you want. You can build as many leaders as you want. Now, some of you would say, well, can I get paid on what's already been done? And the answer is yes. When you get to the upper 5 ranks of our company, we have something called a pool bonus, where you will get paid on what the company has already done and what the company continues to do. And it's a global bonus. So it doesn't matter if it's happening here in the US or if it happens somewhere internationally. And our company is an international company. We have incredible partners around the world, in Australia, New Zealand, Japan. We're in the Philippines and Thailand and Canada and Mexico. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out, but we have incredible partners around the world because we're a global company. When you get to those upper 5 ranks, you start to participate in what's happened in the entire company. Each one of these shares is roughly $1,000. It can be as much as $1,200. And if you get to the top, you get 20 of those. I mean, it's an extra $20,000 a month when you get to the top of the company. And this is above and beyond all of the other bonuses that we've talked about. This is why people join this company. And when they start to understand how we have created a transparent environment by being publicly held, having a product that is category creating, does not exist anywhere else, they start to understand why people are putting a full-time effort into this. They're understanding why this can become a career path that will allow you to have significant changes in your financial situation. And it's not just based on your efforts when you get to the top. It's based on what the whole company does. So we're pretty excited about that, you guys, which leads me to the next piece of the puzzle. I told you there's 5 things. We've gone through 3 of them. We are doing in this company something that is very rare. We have a lot of collaboration in this company. There's a lot of sharing of success principles. There's a lot of sharing of success stories. I've seen a bunch of names jump on this call tonight that are from other lines in this company. I support other lines. I do meetings for other lines. I have a call right after this for another line because we collaborate with one another. We welcome the support from one another, and we welcome providing that support for one another. So what that means to you is you may hear from a leader in the company that is not your natural upline, but maybe there's a principle that they're teaching that you really relate to. That upline or that leader is going to be willing to help you learn how they've done that without having you be on their natural team, because we all work together. It's one of the greatest things that we've accomplished in this company right now is the collaboration that we have. I've got 2 different partners on the call tonight that are alternating these Tuesday night calls. One is Michelle Scapp, who's hosting our call tonight. She's one of my great friends out in Northern California, building an enormous team out there in Northern California. They're attracting massive amounts of growth, seeing 8 and 10% of worth of growth every single week. The other partner we have, which we'll host next week, is Janet and Dave Puttick. They're out of Northern Utah, experiencing the same kind of growth. And it's fun to watch these 2 teams share their success and share their stories with one another, because it instills belief and a lot of confidence as we grow. So culture is an important thing, you guys, which leads us to the last thing, and it's the growth potential of this company. I'm gonna blaze through this thing pretty quick. There is a chaos phase, which is called the startup phase. We're out of that phase. We hit the $200 million mark about 8 years ago. We are in the phase right now that goes from 200 million to about 800 million. We're on pace to hit about 250 to 60 million right now over the next 12 months. So we're at the very beginning stage of that organized growth. What organized growth means is that we've taken the data that we've collected for the last 10, 12 years. We've taken that data, we've provided it to some advisors. We've had an outside source, an outside consultant come in and look at what we're doing, give us the advice based on data, not based on let's try it and see, but based on data. The data would suggest that you had to bring the collagen product in a year ago. The data would also suggest that there was some bottlenecking in our career path, and that was affected by the way we pay. So we had this 1-year process of going through the data and revamping our compensation plan without destroying the outline of what we had, but understanding that shifting a couple percentages here or there would really benefit the growth environment, which is in the beginning, really benefit that consultant that's gathering customers and other people to help us tell the story in the beginning, as well as benefiting that leadership development. So we made some small modifications to the compensation plan just recently based on data, and it's allowing us to go from that 200 million to what will be somewhere in the $700, $800, $900 million phase. If you study this industry at all, that $700, $800, $900 million mark is kind of where you'll plateau out again through this organized growth phase, and you'll have to do a couple things to break that $1 billion milestone, which is the 3rd phase. hopefully what we've done with this compensation plan is created an environment where we can develop so much leadership through that leadership development commission that we kind of briefly went over. We've developed so much leadership that when we break the $1 billion milestone, we stabilize above that. What that means for you, if you'll help us tell the story, is that we can build an income, we can build a customer base, we can have massive impacts on people's health, and also have a massive impact on your financial situation. When we stabilize above that $1 billion mark, wherever your financial, whatever your check is, whatever your commissions are, it should be insulated from a company that's going to fall, because we've developed leadership. So you can develop an income, you guys. It becomes something you can count on, something that's very stable, something that is going to give you the choices and the freedoms that that we all want. I feel very fortunate at 52 years old to have basically been retired for the last 8 years. My grandson is 18 months. I don't miss anything with him now because I made some decisions a few years ago that have given me an income that I can rely on, an income that is not dependent on my activity anymore. Some of you would say, well, why are you doing this again? Well, I'm doing this again because the CEO came to me with some confidence. He asked me, he said, Tyler, if we do this, if we're willing to bring these advisors in, will you give us a couple years so that we can create what we call a legacy company? Legacy companies, you guys, you all know them. You've heard their names. You've seen them around. Those legacy companies are special. And if we can have our name on that list, if LifeVantage can be on that list when someone says, if you could turn the clock back, I mean, for example, if you could turn the clock back on a Mary Kay, would you join it when it was only a $200 million? Absolutely, I would. I'm not afraid of opportunity, right? I want to be on that list. I want this company to be a legacy company. I want to set my family up to where I can pass this income on to generations after me. And you can only do that by being a part of that. So I'm grateful that you guys jumped on this call tonight. Thanks for being on here. There is a recording of this. You can pass it out. We will be doing it again next Tuesday. They're basically the same every Tuesday. So if you're comfortable with the information you got tonight, then jump on that call next Tuesday and we'll do this thing again. But use the products. They're amazing. They're scientifically validated, or help us tell the story. Thanks for jumping on. Back to you, Michelle.
I don't know what to say. Everybody's already asking for the recording. Tyler, we love you. Thank you so much for tonight. It literally just crushed it, and you did it in less than 30 minutes. You win. So anyway, thank you. We all win because he is here. Build for next week, and just so grateful for all that's happening in this company and the part that each of you are playing to make this company that $1 billion company we know it should be. So lots of love. Have a great evening, and thank you, Tyler.